Hello guys, welcome to 2 Cent News, where I share my 2 cents about the current news. So today there was a California shooting, and a science teacher named Ryan Heber was able to stop a student from shooting more of the children there. There was a kid who brought a shotgun to school and actually shot a student who he said had bullied him, and he wanted to shoot another student. I guess there were 2 of them who he had thought had bullied him over the past year. The science teacher was able to calmly have a conversation with him and ask him to hand the gun over, which he eventually did, and potentially save the lives of 2 of those kids. I think there's a lot to be done as far as bullying is concerned, as far as education is concerned. The heroics of that teacher is just undeniable. I mean, the teachers do not get paid enough to take a bullet for your kid. The fact that that teacher went out of his way to protect his students is just phenomenal and awesome. And there's a lot of teachers who I know would do the same thing, which is just phenomenal and says a lot about teachers and how underappreciated they are. One of the students was shot with a shotgun, but he is alive. He's just in the hospital, and he's going to be fine. The teacher actually was hit with a stray pellet, but I'm glad that nobody was killed. Now, that story is from ABC News, and I always think it's hilarious because the words they use for some of these things are just ridiculous. You got a high-powered shotgun? What is a high-powered shotgun? All shotguns are high-powered. That's what a shotgun is. And I know there's been a lot of debate as far as gun control is concerned. I'm not all the way one or the other. I don't want to get rid of all the guns, but at the same time, I don't think every single person should have a gun. I don't think that would make us safer. That's just my opinion. Now, the interesting thing is I've heard people offer the solution, which is to hire armed guards at schools. Well, the funny thing is, in response to the Connecticut shooting, they had hired an armed guard, but he wasn't there on Thursday morning when the shooting happened. Now, I don't understand why you would hire an armed guard that's not there during the school day the entire time kids are there. That sounds like the obvious thing to do, in my opinion, but that's just me, and that's just a failure on the school's part. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is another, bad thing turned okay. There was a couple, they have developmentally delayed is what they said, and so they ride their tandem bike as their way to get around. And I think that's awesome that they ride a tandem bike. A lot of people think it's not that cool to ride a tandem bike. I would love to ride a tandem bike with somebody. I think it would be hilarious, but also awesome, because why not? So they kept the tandem bike around their backyard. Apparently one night, a neighbor actually had their security camera catch the footage of some kids riding by, and they stole the tandem bike during the night. People who owned the tandem bike were distraught, and they were very upset. And it went on the news, and apparently some of the kids saw it and felt really bad. And one of the kids returned the bike during the night at some point and left a note that apologized, and they said they were really sorry for stealing the bike. And I think that's awesome. It is sad that somebody stole, but I think it's awesome that somebody learned not to do it and tried to make it right. And it wasn't like the person was like, oh, I didn't know that it was somebody's bike. They committed to it. They're like, yeah, I did it and I'm sorry. And what more can you do? And I think that's great. Moving on from crime, I want to talk about the PC World's story about CES. CES is awesome. I wish I would have been able to go this year, but they talked about a lot of awesome technology coming out, including 4K TVs. As somebody who, I'm personally in a film major program, so, all technology and stuff is freaking amazing to me, and I love it. And so 4K TVs are like the next big thing. People thought that the jump from, standard definition to HD to full HD, they thought that was amazing. You guys are going to be blown away. You don't realize how good things could be. And I think it's awesome that they're coming out with 4K TVs. Some people are trying to compare oh yeah, is it going to be a lot better than HD? There's 4 times as many pixels than full HD in a 4K TV. They're calling it Ultra HD. I'm glad that they're not just doubling it. The issue with the TVs is that there's no content for them. No one makes 4K videos because there's no demand. And so it will be awesome to see 4K movies on a 4K TV. Now, these TVs are fairly large. They're going to be, the smallest one you'll probably find is 54 to 56 inches. And they're not really made for consumers right now. I think the cheapest consumer one will be coming out, and it'll be $12,000. They do have some available right now, but they're the $20,000 to $25,000 range. And from what I've heard, they look incredible. It's like looking through a window. I heard that when 1080 came out. So the next story is that BlackBerry still makes phones. I'm just kidding. They don't make, they do make phones, but no one buys them. 2012, the world did not end. Much to my and others' disappointment. I mean, I personally was ready with my machete. I wanted to get some zombie killing done. That didn't happen. In 2004, scientists were looking at an asteroid that had 2.7% chance of actually smashing into the Earth. Asteroid Apophis, I believe is how it's pronounced. They thought it was going to happen in 2029. As time passed, I think 2006, they realized it might happen in 2036. And at this point, they realized there's about a 1/1,000,000% of a chance that it could hit the Earth, which is not even a remote chance. So, sleep well tonight knowing that. Thanks for stopping by 2 Cent News. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts about the tandem bike situation. I mean, some people are like, if you do something, you need to be punished for it. Other people, believe everyone deserves second, third, fourth chances. And so I'd like to know what you guys think. Did he do the right thing? Should he have actually come forward and personally done it? Should he, have to receive some kind of punishment because they were without a bike for about a week, I think. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.